Good evening, race fans. I am your host, Bobby, and this is my co-host, Dave. So we do not have Rob. He had surgery over the weekend, and he's not 100%. So I brought Dave in this week since they subbed for me while I was in Florida. Now Dave's here. So our special guest tonight is Rob, the owner of Runner's Roost, and also a sponsor of Jeremy's. Dave, how you doing?
Doing all right, man. How are you doing?
Doing good.
How was your trip down to Florida?
And very fun.
Right?
Hoping to go back soon.
Yeah.
I need some more I need some more sun, as you can tell.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we'll bring Rob and his daughter in to talk about Runner's Roost.
All right. Sounds like playing.
Hey Rob, how we doing?
Hey Bobby, how you doing? Doing
Doing
well,
good.
Dave.
Nice to see you.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Well, hi, young lady. How are you?
Hello, good.
Good.
So can you tell us about Runner's Roost and all the good stuff that you have to offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for having us on Runner's Roost. We're located, there's two locations here in the West New York, Buffalo, New York area. Started all the way back in 1978, two locations, and we're considered a run specialty store. So running, walking, you need good footwear. People come to us, foot problems, back problems, doctor referrals. Come on in, we set you up, we size you, we watch your gait analysis with some fancy equipment here. It does a whole analysis, kind of gives us an idea uh what's going on with your feet, your profile, arches, etc. And then start bringing out some great shoes from top brands like Brooks, Hoka, Saucony, On, New Balance, Diadora. About 10 brands we carry, at least 4 or 5 models from each brand, men and women. So all the way from men's 7.5 to men's 16, women's 5 to women's 12. So we got a wide variety. Often the fringe sizes, the smaller, larger sizes, people have trouble finding them. We have them here to get them on their feet and get them going what they need to do. So
No pun intended.
yeah.
I will say this: I do have a pair of Brooks off of Rob, and were the best shoes that I have had so far.
Yeah, they're one of the top brands, and you'll find uh stores like the bigger box stores might carry Nike, New Balance, Saucony, but they're not going to be the same quality. I mean, they might carry some of the same models, but usually it's a little bit lesser quality where it's not as the construction and fabric materials are not built actually for running or being on your feet all day. So and then run specialty, there's other stores that do carry some of these brands and models. They just don't have the experience to fit properly for the foot profile and what their needs are. So that's where we come into play.
So you're based out of New York.
Yeah, we call ourselves West New York, so we're like about 3 hours Cleveland, the farthest west tip of right on Lake Erie. You hear about all that lake effect snow. It's true. We had 2 storms here this past January. Somewhere is like I think we were closed a few days, just 7 feet one storm, 5 feet the other storm. Paralyzed us for a couple of days, but we're back at it. Just it comes with you get used to it. So.
Yeah, growing up on the southwest corner of Michigan, having the Michigan lake effect snow, I know too much about it, and
Yeah.
that's why I moved to North Carolina.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I mean, fortunately for us, we do have a great business here, so it keeps us here, a lot of family, but maybe someday, we just came back from visiting in Florida. It's been about 10 years. I'm like, wow, I forgot how nice it is to get away in the wintertime and someplace warm. So
Yeah.
don't blame you.
Yeah.
So we are live. So Rob, I'm gonna let you throw that what we were talking about earlier out, so that way I can start keeping track of
Yeah,
the names.
so I've tried to get on these as much as possible, follow what's going on as a fan of the team and racing itself. It's something I've kind of come growing back into my adult life. As a kid, you go to local tracks and follow, and I kind of got out for a little bit. But getting back to what we talked to, I think we're gonna raffle off a $100 gift card for the stores. It's good. It's good for online use. Our therunnersroost.com is our website. There are some locations out in Colorado. We're not affiliated. They have a different website. So it's therunnersroost.com. You'll be able to plug it in. We'll ship it to you. If you comment in, I believe you guys will pick a winner that way. And I just would need an email address and some contact information once you have a winner to send that over. Include a shirt size too, because we'll get you. Bobby's wearing a cool hoodie. There's a logo. We kind of set our actual logo. It's something we do fun once in a while. Set our racing singlets for the runners and put it on Jeremy's car last year at Dover and Watkins Glen. And it's kind of badass, I guess. So.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is everybody that comments in the chat, each person that comments in the chat, I should say, will get entry into the giveaway, and we'll do it live tonight on the show. So we'll keep track. I'll write the names down on a piece of paper and I'll put them in a hat, mix them up, and then we'll pull one.
Am I allowed to put this on?
I have no issues with any of that.
Also, how effective is your online orders compared to it being in store?
It's not as effective. Obviously, we'd like to personally fit someone. We'll probably ask a few questions back and forth. There's a few shoes that we will almost fit most people these days, depending what they're doing. You'd be surprised. Most of our customers are probably not runners. They're more of a daily footwear, walker type situation. So we've got some models that would be a win either way. It's just really getting that fit down. Even with online profiles, our website doesn't have it, but they have sizing guides with some brands, and that's not necessarily it's a tool to gauge, but it's not fully accurate all the time. So
if somebody was to go to their local store, get measured up, and kind of give you the specs on what they needed, could you get them pretty close to?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Awesome.
there's roughly gosh, I think there's probably 400 to 500 stores like ours in the country, just run specialty. Some are bigger, some are smaller. So I'm sure you'll be able to find one somewhere. Might be some desolate spots where it might be tougher, but we'll work with you if not.
Awesome.
I'm gonna actually post the sorry about that. I'm gonna actually do the screen share so you can talk about the paint scheme. There we go.
Yay.
Can you see that, Rob?
Yeah.
All right. You're on.
So that's Vanessa and I and Jeremy. Obviously, that's and Violet, daughter Violet's there.
Yeah.
That there you kind of see in the back quarter panel. It's like the runnersroost.com. That it's kind of like our arts, the P-Rock table, Runners Roost. That's like our current logo we've used for years. So we use it time to time, and we're like, this doesn't really work well with placement sometimes, and so I decided to have this other one you have on your hoodie there. Moving forward on different things, it just works better. It's cool looking, but that kind of fell into that, as you guys know. That's the Kevin Whitaker Chevrolet from the Glen, 2022 in August. I think it placed top time finisher. He placed 10th. Had a great second half of the race. Came through at the end. You get that top 10. We didn't know at the time, but that car was getting die casted, so we kind of got lucky. We've got a dozen die casted cars we've got early on, and actually about it was June or July of 2023 before we got them, but with production and everything, and took them down to the Glen this year, and Jeremy signed them for us and use them for different things, some gifts and family members and friends and some giveaways. But heard the story before behind the paint job and the scheme, so I'm sure
Only thing I've heard is that it was the Dale Earnhardt K2 throwback.
Yes, so that's the idea, and the story goes, I believe when Dale's neighbor, they bought the car off or we gave it to him, and they mixed up whatever paint they had, thought it was me one color and
Mhm.
turned out that color, and they're like, well, we can't afford new paint, so we're sticking with it, and that's kind of where that came from, and to have that as a throwback is pretty awesome, and have us die cast, you have it die casted, it's just a really cool thing as a fan, and now as a associate sponsor for some races here and there. It's pretty cool.
Next up is the car.
Yep.
I really like that pick. That was a nice looking car.
Yep. It was great. We got a chance. You can see the behind us here. That's off the pit box there. So they had that. And I said, hey, can I have that? And I said, sure. So that, and we've got a pretty sweet carpet or rug from Matt Man Designs. So from that race. So it's a nice keepsake. They're nice enough to let us have. That's at the hauler. That would be Richmond of 2022. At that point, we actually haven't really done anything with Jeremy yet. We just kind of started connecting a little bit through some mutual friends in the NASCAR community, and we were able to come by and have a visit. So it was nice. And then the Glen, this would have been April of 22, and then in the Glen we were on the Kevin Whitaker Chevrolet. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. I don't even think we had a chance to see him yet at that point. We just grabbed the hero card.
You gotta tell us about this.
Yeah,
That's a great picture.
this is a unique. This is just one of those things you kind of sometimes things go your way, So again, a mutual friend of ours, he's one of the chefs there in the industry at work in the back, feed the teams, and I don't know if Andy's listening or not, but Andy's the one that helped me meet Jeremy, and I think we're actually would have been, so going back, I'll back this up a little bit. So 2020 COVID, New York State did not allow sporting events and fans pretty much in the state. We could not go to Watkins Glen. New Hampshire Motor Speedway was allowing fans back in August, was kind of replacing around the time we would go to Glen. They're allowing 9,000 fans, and my sisters and Vanessa here, we did a quick road trip and jumped on it. It was kind of weird, like there was no one around, like it was desolate, no campers, NASCAR didn't have the campsites open, and we're letting haulers in. So we're just walking around randomly one night, and Andy, I mentioned earlier, he pulled up. He was contracted to cook for a bunch of teams, and him and another gentleman named Will that also chefs there in the back, and they gave us a Starcom Racing sticker with Quinn Huff's team, and just handed it off and didn't know nothing about it. Like, oh, how would you like a sticker? Like, sure, great. Next night we kind of run into somebody and run into Andy, and just kind of came friends, hit it off, told us what he did, and worked together a few things, and he hooked us up with Starcom Racing with Quinn Huff's team, the 00, in August of 2021. So this is me in August of 2021 here. I just brought a bunch of shoes down. I'm like trying to fit the team with some guys that weren't sure their sizes, so I brought stuff for exchanges, and I walked in the back. I trying to deliver stuff, and it was just pretty wild. My family with me, like carrying a box of shoes around, or like, look at this crazy guy here. It's like, where's this guy going? So it just so happened that Jeremy and there might be another photo. I'm not sure if you have it, but Brandon Brown there, he was back there too. So both of them are like size 9s. And that's what I had left, like 2 size 9s. I'm like, oh, I don't feel like carrying these back. I'm like, try these on. And Jeremy knew about on clouds and so forth, and they worked for him. And kind of when we first met and chatted for a little bit, he runs and keep in shape. Great personality. I mean, I'm sure you guys listen to him talk in his interviews, and just can talk and good stuff to talk about and fun. So that's where that first photo's from. We first met.
We got this one.
Yep, there's Brandon there. So, so yeah, he's got a pair of Hoka Clifton Edges looks like, and then Jeremy's got a pair on Cloud Flyers, and yeah, it's a pretty cool day. So got to meet them, hang out for a little bit. And,
I'm not gonna lie, those are sharp. Those are sharp looking shoes.
yep. So the great part about what we do is not only the fitting process and helping people get back to trying to have a healthy lifestyle or some foot problems or keep them from being injured. Um, you get some cool looking stuff and lifestyle and neat looking shoes too that come along our way. So the funnest part of what I do is probably get to do the purchasing, get to pick the shoes and the colors and try on stuff before it gets made in a factory. So something neat we get to do as a run specialty retailer, purchasing manager. So
This is one of my favorite cars.
yeah, that's the flying forum. It was a great race. That would have been Dover, April last year. First time heading that track. Man, talk about rain, wind. I haven't been able to get down to any of the bigger tracks like Florida, Daytona or Talladega, but being close to the ocean there, it was like springtime. We were able to get the Saturday race in. Sunday Cup kit race didn't get to go to noon on Monday, but I seen campsites underwater, like they had to move campers around and trailers shaking. And we're like, we can get this in, and we got Saturday race in and flying for them. They were delivering brand new fire suits that day. RJ couldn't make it up. So I was taking photos for him, sending stuff over as much as I could. And he does the same sometimes, if I, stuff in the shoppery somewhere and see that. So it's kind of nice to have that, amongst the sponsors, having the community share, helping each other out when they can. So, but yeah, this is that first time using that new logo, and we'd move around a little bit, but it works well, fits well in the car. Does well enough actually that we're gonna be a local car this year at the Lancaster Speedway. We're gonna have the hood of a Nova, the Nova Chevrolet. But we're taking that, and he uses his colors are black and hot orange, so we have that right on the hood. It's gonna look getting vinyl wrapped here this spring, so hopefully keeps together, and it's a pretty sweet looking car. And yeah, it was a great car in the fire suits and the whole lineup, like the hood, the red, white, and blue. I don't know if I sent you the one. I've got some good ones of the crew, like they're all lined up in their new fire suits. I think they're all red, white, and blue, and then
We
I
have
mean,
that one.
yeah, that would be Glenn this year. That was the Glenn this year. That's our Brooks sales rep, Jake. Came down.
He played soccer with me.
Yeah.
Then we have this one.
There you go. That's one of them. So pretty sharp fire suits, hats, the whole gear. It was a fun day. So a lot of tracks sometimes are tough with depending on rules and regulation for safety protocol. It's tough. Sometimes the kids, this one here, it was nice with the hot passes. You're kind of be allowed to be along the grass and along the fence in the back. So she was able to hang out for the race back there. Some family and friends of us would take turns and hang out, watch the
I
race.
wish I could go on the ladder though.
Yeah, she can't go up in a pit box yet, not during live racing. So
Then you have that one.
that same race, pretty cool. It was an odd day because like the sun was trying to peek those clouds, but it was cloud cover, so it'd be hot, cold. Weren't sure what was getting in with the race or not. So they're, trying to get as much as they can. I probably just didn't put the canopy up on top, but it was kind of see that grassy knoll back there. You can let people sit up there and watch the race. It was pretty neat.
That is all the pictures that we have today. We have a slew of people commenting on the post or on the video.
That's great. Yeah.
I tried down.
Observation
Danner
Rob
twice.
just tuned in. He said, "Hey everyone, it's Observation Rob. Sorry I missed tonight's show. I am under the weather. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. As always, thank you all for joining in and the support."
Absolutely.
We hope you get better soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get better sooner, Rob. I was able to catch you their first couple episodes, and this is our time of year. It's been such a mild winter for us up here, for for February this year, it's usually our slowest month kind of in our stores. So it's kind of time to catch a breather, catch up before, spring track and field started this week and the weather breaks and Easter's coming. So we'll be busy from right on out. And so it's been tough to manage. Got my wife and I have 3 little ones ourselves in the stores and stuff. So sometimes just but I hope you feel better, Rob.
After with all the tracks you've been to, what's your favorite track? And what's your favorite track also?
Mm, I'm not sure. They're all pretty good.
That's a solid answer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So, I actually, and I think it was a moment in time, just like how crazy things were. But the New Hampshire trip was one of those ones that were pretty epic. Like NASCAR was like for a pro sport league, they're the first one to allow fans back in the country. Like no, the football didn't have fans back, baseball, hockey, anything of that sort. NASCAR had it. So 9,000 fans up New Hampshire. It was so awesome. If you never had an opportunity to get up there in the summertime, Lake Winnipesaukee close, so the lake life, there's a lot of tourism. So we just spent like a whole day. We always try to spend a day outside the track. We go for racing, but we'd like to really go in like Wednesday or Thursday and to make a whole 5 days out of it and do a day, something local, try to catch a place to eat, maybe catch a park, go for a hike. But Lake Winnipesaukee was super cool. If you're at Laconia Bike Week, I believe is there. So that's my favorite.
Nice.
You don't have a favorite? It's all of them.
I know they're all really good. I like to drive on the way there too. Fun.
She likes waking up at 2 a.m. hitting the road.
That a girl.
Yeah.
That is not for me at all.
Yeah. I'm not falling asleep.
Right.
30 minutes before I hit the track, boom. So I probably got some. I didn't think of it. I got some good embarrassing photos when she had her doll, little Joey there. She was like brushing his hair and stuff on the way to New Hampshire, and Sister John was they're having a good time. So yeah, the road trips are pretty fun. So regardless, we always hit the road and try to camp. So
Now, other than Jeremy, who do you work with any other athletes?
not so much direct in the NASCAR side of things, but we, being here, right, Buffalo Bills, so close. Like, yeah, we do get just coaching staff and players come through the doors. Try to play cool. I don't want to get fan struck or anything. One time I had an employee like, "Oh, can I grab a selfie with you?" I'm like, "It's Coach McDermott." I'm like, "Yeah, please don't do that again." Like, it's just, so, yeah, but some of that's our Amherst store is about 40 minutes north of here. We tend to look more Buffalo Sabres players tend to live up that way. So we do get some of the families that come through on at that level. But again, we just try to keep it cool and keep your head on and just here to serve them and they're here as a customer. So we don't want to infringe anything and get fanboy or fangirl on them. And so
Nope, I completely understand that being from the Charlotte area. We rub elbows on other people and you just kind of go, you know what? They're the same people as me and you. They just have a different job.
Yep, that's right. Like and come to realize like you can have conversations, but they usually don't want to talk about their work. Like they'll talk about something regular, like whether it's hunting, fishing, what they enjoy to do. Just ask them how, typical common, simple how's your day going type stuff. And that seems to work well. We were down in Austin, Texas for a trade show. It's all the running stores like ours can attend. It's a way to find new brands, like different things, and you just meet and network on a plane ride down. I just hoping to be Bills bye week. And I'm like, there's a couple Bills players on the plane. I'm like, let's just not make a scene.
I told, Mr. Eric about it today.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about Epinesa.
Yes, so we had, wait till everyone offloaded, then went over and like, hey, how's it going? From Buffalo, what's going on? What are you doing on your bye week? Can we get his autograph? They signed your boarding pass and everything.
I got my plane ticket signed. There's 2 players. I forgot the other one's name.
So that was on the way down to Austin, and then we went out to a steakhouse, her and I. And
Young.
Joe Rogan was like 2 tables over as a UFC fighting town, his comedy clubs there. So that one we just kind of didn't we stayed away from that one there. You know, they're out there
Yeah.
and everything, and just
We saw people fight in our old hotel.
UFC guys were sparring up across
Nice.
the lobby. So
That's something you don't expect while you're eating dinner.
no, it was pretty like, okay, what's going on here? So, but no, I mean, you just, I don't know. That's how I play it. I mean, sometimes you gotta shoot your shot. They say you come across someone you're a fan of, you might not have the opportunity again. So you can go their way too. Like, okay, I understand the situation why you might have. So
So I don't know if I asked, but how did you get involved with Jeremy, and how did you get involved with like how do I want to say it? How did you get involved with like Watkins Glen and Dover?
that was really just a New Hampshire trip. We were talking about Andy came by with the Starcom sticker. He was at a Camp Fark with everything kind of being shut down on the track side where they weren't allowing the haulers in the tracks and the NASCAR campsites were open. There's an adjacent access road there where it's private camping. And a lot of those guys stayed, not a lot, but some stayed there, like quietly, you know, their motorhomes or so forth. And or stop by for visits. Some friends or some crew members might stay there, and the driver might pop by. Or something. It was just got just lucky. Just met someone and then met Jeremy, and then I was you know, asked me about the shoe guy or whatever, and so now we kind of the unofficial,
Okay.
I guess, shoe guy when I need something. So try to help out. Not I know we'll be with the Glen this year. I'm not sure what our tracks we might get to. I'm trying to figure something out and schedule it works well for them too, because I know he's got great setup this year and some great sponsors. So
Now, speaking of great sponsors, anything lined up with them for this upcoming year?
we'll have Watkins Glen for sure. That got moved to September, so it'll be interesting. Uh you know, I'm really hoping that the Bills home season opener isn't the same week as the Glen, but I will go to the Glen over the Bills
What?
season. Yeah, sorry, I didn't tell you that. It's like
I
nine
just said what myself.
there's like 9 home games, and you know we don't get to go racing every week. I have more opportunities to go home. I mean, it's right here, so we pay for our camp spot every year. We've been doing it for, you know, 2014's first year we went, and haven't missed one yet except for 2020, and we play set with New Hampshire. So I try to get to 2 every year at minimum, though. And, I'm just not sure how the schedule's going to look this year with work and such. Trying to find a sweet spot. I've gone to too many spring races where it rained, been cold. So
Well, I will say this, Dave, and this is funny. So the Steelers play the Bills,
yeah,
and Rob's over here sending me text messages as my Steelers are coming back, and he's
Yeah.
like,
He's
"Oh,
like,
I'm getting nervous. Oh, I'm getting nervous." Next thing you know, we get curb stomped, and I'm sitting there like, "Really?"
he's like, I'm shutting this game off, and I'm
I'm
like,
shutting
I'm at
the
the
game
game. I'm
off.
like, you might
I'm
want to turn
over
it back on. And you guys are coming back in, and yeah, just the timing was just right. Probably turned it on and let you down there. Sorry, I mean, it's happened to us many times. I mean, 4 Super Bowl losses consecutive. But
We need Ben Roethlisberger back as well.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, bring back
That
Jim
was your
Kelly.
guys' kryptonite.
yep. Jim Kelly comes through the store from time to time, so he wears Brooks, gets some foot issues, and the doctor sends him in, tells him. Very nice man. He's been through a lot, but um, you know, with between, you know, don't want to get into it too much, but you know, he's had with son Hunter there through the years, and then you know, he's had um, cancer in the jaw and so forth, but he's great spirit, always been upbeat and very nice guy. He's one guy, if you ever see him on the street, you can stop and talk to him. No, not an issue. He loves that.
So, what did you guys think of the race this weekend?
It was pretty good. I really enjoyed, I mean, Atlanta that track right there has been like one, I feel like I have to get there the last 5, 6 years. The race was the Saturday race there. I was at a work event, worked all day. No, actually, I was on a boys trip to Pittsburgh. Sorry, working on Saturdays. We had my friends getting married, so we went down to Pittsburgh for a weekend and didn't really catch the race there. Saturday night we were out. Did catch some qualifying, so forth, and then Sunday's race I got back in time and watched over at my sisters, and we do a fun family $5 pool, and I was lucky enough to have Chris Bell this week, so I'm good with
I
the
picked it.
she drew the cards, so I got no collusion because she drew like 10 people's cards, so it's like just mine, but picked a good one.
We do see some famous people next at store at the birdhouse.
Yeah, once in a while. So
Yeah.
it being going back to the Bills, it's right in the Village Orchard Park here, so you get some players that come over here and dine and walk around. But yeah, what are your guys' plans this year for racing? What do you got going on?
I am going to Michigan for sure, and trying to get Dave to come down to Michigan, or yeah, come up to Michigan with me, because that's his obviously home state where he grew up.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Rob and I are going to Pocono with Adrian.
Mhm.
So our plan is to get down there Friday night and then be there for the race and then come home Sunday because it's a 6.5 hour drive for me.
Yeah.
And then it's another 6.5 hour drive for Rob.
Yeah, I'd like to get to Pocono these years. It's usually around the week or do some camping on State Park, but it'd be great. I think Michigan fall in July this year or June?
Michigan is in, I believe,
I think Michigan's August this year.
August. Yeah, because let me look real quick just to make sure. But
These one got moved around with the Olympics and everything's part of it too, I think.
Yeah.
So it's Pocono July 13th, and then you have Indy July 20th, I believe, and then Michigan it's almost a month away.
Like August 4th or something like early August, probably like the first weekend.
Michigan is, I had it pulled up earlier.
That'd be another one. I mean, that one, some stuff got moved around because the Glen used to be that first week in August, then it got moved to mid-August. So I think that time's kind of open for me. It might be a sweet spot. Or talking about going to a second race. I just haven't really
So it's
figured it out.
July 6th is the Chicago Street Race. July 13th is Pocono. July 20th is Indy, and then August 17th is Michigan.
Okay. That's the weekend of the Glen normally, so that's where, so that'd be kind of cool too.
Michigan.
Yeah, about a month apart too. I think my wife might not be happy with it. Usually these trips stem from like a couple beers and people together like, hey, we're going here. So okay. I go home and get myself in trouble about it. But it's worth it. Sometimes you have to what they say back for forgiveness later. So
Yeah, that's cool. I've always wanted to go to a true road course because
Yeah.
obviously down here, I'm only about maybe 15, 20 minutes away from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
And as you've heard, we've got that little thing called the Roval.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a real race,
Yeah.
like a real that it was designed to be.
Yeah. It's tough. Like what's unique about the Glen, like I haven't been on road courses, but I mean the infield, the camping is everywhere. I couldn't tell you. I think there's probably 100,000 people camping, just
wow.
campers on the outfield, there's campers on the infield, and I mean you can't walk everywhere. Like you need to get around, like they discourage e-bikes and everything. People are on their bikes and stuff getting around. There's buses that transport you, but it is, a couple of years ago, actually it was 2021, there was a golf cart company there they brought in and you could $5 per hour to get a ride. So I became friends with the one guy and like listen, just I'll take care of you. Just come get me when you come get me. Like if you can, I'll call you out, like just, I think, we fed him dinner every night. We, monster drinks guy, we took care of him. Like he'd be done 10, 11 o'clock at night and we call him up and be like, come take us to the spots. You're out in this golf cart ride all day. Take us. We went like every place inside and outside on the golf cart. He's like, do not get off this golf cart. So there was like 4 or 5 people I didn't even know we kind of had the same deal with, and we just went out to the parties, watched for a little bit, take off to the next one. But that's the way to see it, and I still can't fathom like how big it is and like how much goes on there. So it is a tough viewer friendly race, but we actually, if we're not with the team or like Sunday, I like being right in front of a couple jumbotrons along. So we set up as like a 10, 15-foot easement along the track.
Okay.
So people just sit their chairs up and you watch. Hang out. You got your headsets and go that route. You walk around, walk back to the camper, fill your cooler back up, use the bathroom, get back to the race. So we do. The group we go with is we have caution moonshine, red flag moonshine, like everything is like different things. So it's like, so it's when they call it, the term party at the Glen, it's a party. So
Oh yeah.
it's a marathon. I mean, any race weekend is really so when you go to these tracks, but um, it's just something about summer in New York. It's so short up here, and that's a fun one. So if you ever get an opportunity, more than happy to guide you around a little bit and help you where to go and so forth. So
What's
most
your
definitely.
what's your favorite turnip at Watkins Glen?
man, we're over. I tell you, over the bus stop's really cool and unique. Um, and last year was a tough one. They took the stages out, so it was pretty much caution free, other than Elliott running out of gas there. And I mean, it was like it was an hour and 55 minutes. Race was over. I mean, essentially, the fans wanted the stages gone. They took it away, and then the fans were complaining about it being boring. So I think this year NASCAR is bringing the stages back, help breaks it up, changes up the strategy. But we're over in 8 and 9 somewhere. It's pretty good through there. The one year, Danica and Ryan Newman got it pretty good, like his front hole, and they had the red flag and bring the directors out. The front end was all over motor. I think it was pretty much out of the car. That was a good one that came around through there. They also redid what they also did there is they repaved and changed some of the chicanes there. So the wheel hop's a little bit different. So they don't come around through there as much. They don't lose it which is good. You got these multi-million-dollar teams, but it's kind of changed the dynamic of I think it's a little bit safer, cleaner course right now. But that with time will probably break in.
We did like wheel hop though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that set away the drivers from the drivers. I remember watching Tony Stewart, close in last corner, wheel hop,
Yep.
cut right down in front of them.
Yep, they get through there and they wheel hop in, and someone maybe does misgauges a little bit, and it definitely makes for some good racing through there. So maybe nudge them out of the way. Usually, they spin most of the time. They can regather and get up and go. So I think Chicago course is interesting. We'll see how it goes. There was so much rain last year, but that turn 6 was like the black hole, just kept sucking cars right into it. But I think that course is kind of neat and unique. I don't know if it's so fan friendly, but just watching, hopefully this year that road course, they live and learn a little bit, and the rain isn't so bad. But that'll be a neat one. But yeah, going back to the Glen, I think where we sit, there's not really a bad spot. Everyone's got their favorites. They don't have the boot anymore. That used to be great when they ran the boot. But
Were you there when Derek Cope blew his engine?
was not.
You remember that though.
I do not.
Okay, so
where did that happen?
So Derek Cope came in where the bus stop is, and
Yeah.
instead of making the bus stop, he went right through it. And as soon as he got through it, the car literally grenaded and the engine almost
Okay.
came out of the car.
Yeah, there's a big runoff over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I believe someone was killed years back through that area too, and they had to change something.
Really?
I'm almost positive there was a fatality years back. Like, I have to look that one up because I've heard stories about it, and I don't have. You might be able to pull up the
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna
Google
look.
it here, but I think something happened there in that area when they changed it, so made some changes. I think it's a bigger runoff, or I can't remember the story behind it.
Have you been to any other racing at Watkins Glen?
No, they do some neat stuff out there. Like, I mean, all tracks do. They have stuff you try to use it year round as much as they can. But um, there's unique. There's an actual duathlon. It's called the man. I just saw it today. Oh, it's put on by a company. We do some work with some race management company. The Dirty. The Anyway, it's a duathlon at the Glen, so it's a running and biking race on the course. They actually use part of the Watkins Glen track for a biking and running race. This summer that's supposed to be pretty good locally. I mean, it's not huge, it's not like you're drawing thousands of people, but it's good for the runners and the bikers. It was active, something different. And then they do the classics. I think there's the IMSA. Is IMSA run there? I think it changes year to year, but I think they run there.
Yeah, IMSA and then the BMW class also run there.
I think Sailings has something too. Don't they have a sailing something class? Or I can't think of it. There's a something six. I have to look it up. There's two different things there.
Yeah, I saw we were talking about the diecast earlier. I see one over your
Yeah.
shoulder there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do have a few, and lucky enough before they did that, this one is signed. So I actually have the hero card signed too. So before we do this die cast, I picked the hero cards, and then those are signed. So it's kind of neat to have them matching. And honestly, I don't really bring it out too much. I brought it out for the podcast, and a gentleman we've done some work in the past. He just retired, but he was the vice president of Labatt USA, and Labatt, obviously, being
that is a good beer.
Yeah, it is a good beer, and they now own Genesee Brewery, which is right out of Rochester. A few years ago, they had the beer rights to the track. So, but Boris said used to run for Jenny all the time. So when he retired, he gave me a bunch of old Boris stuff, Jenny stuff, like hats, and I've got a die cast somewhere, and I was trying to dig it out today. Where the hell did I put that thing? Just to put it up,
So you've been a NASCAR fan for a good long time.
Kind of, yeah.
This happened.
Yeah, in my adult life, it's really weird. My neighbor, like, I go over to watch Bill's game, in the garage, and have a couple beers on Sunday, and he have the other TV on. I'll be in NASCAR race. I'm like, all right, start getting it. Then one year I joined Fantasy League, and then one year he's like, you need to come down to the Glen camping. Like, he's like, I'm camping with my son. I will bring my camper for you. She was only 5 months old. My son was 2. And he literally dropped the camper off. I was working out of town. My wife drove from Buffalo. I drove from up by Vermont. We met and we stayed. I'm like, this is awesome. Kid friendly. There's no sport like stock car racing, NASCAR, where you can get this close and personal, meet the driver, the fanfare, the friendliness, the Q&As. You're just not getting that in any other sport. And
I completely agree. And it's really nice being down here, obviously, with the all the between the dealerships and having Hendrick right around the corner, RCR, all those. They have fan events all the time. And it's almost a fantasy to be a NASCAR fan down here. It really is.
Yeah, like, what am I gonna do this week? We'll go check out this garage. You're having a cookout today. So that's actually pretty fun. Have that.
Now, have you been down this way and actually been to Jeremy's shop?
I have not. We're driving down to Florida this past January, and I was gonna leave early. I had stuff going on. We are hosting a 5K event here this past February. And I'm like, I gotta get back. There's stuff going to work. I was gonna have I was gonna bring back maybe one of the kids come back early. If that happened, I was going to stop by. But I was able to kind of push a few things back and just we all drove back together. And at that point, just wanted to get home. So
Right. Well, I can tell you just from experience being at the shop, you are represented very well in the shop. Being on the side of the K2 car,
that's
um, you definitely got some graphics and pictures of that car everywhere because it's so iconic.
no, that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear. I get down. I gotta get down there. One of these days. Uh, yeah. You've been in the shop multiple times, or just
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yep. It's about an hour from uh my house.
yeah,
I plan on going down there if I've got time tomorrow to talk to them about the West Coast swing and
yeah,
just kind of talk to Mark and Dave and
yeah.
just see what's going on. Talk about last week's race. It was kind of a bummer. We were running, almost top 10 and
Yeah,
then got dropped back to 15th in the
yeah,
final corner.
yeah.
So I was kind of bummed about that, but
I didn't get a chance. So usually I try to catch the clips, and I was checking on my phone, like just kind of see where he was at, and but he was fighting. He stepped qualified like a 25th or something, and was up there and then back, and so I didn't even get a chance to the details. And I actually got to send some shoes to him. He ordered, so I was texting him about some stuff and the racing, and just it's great. And the other thing that kind of like helped solidify a little bit. John, the car chief, we didn't really get into this too much. He was supposed to be on a couple times, and with their travel and so forth, it's just tough. Like, I think the one race was rain delayed so long. We're going to be on, and Bobby had a power outage there, internet, so we had postponed, and then, but John, we're at a race. We're at Richmond in 22, and the one my sister boyfriend Jim, he had a Holland Speedway hat on, and he's like, man, I used to be a tech guy there, and Holland, and just got talking here in over the course of time, and he's like, we live 20 minutes apart. He lives up here 20 minutes from me. He's the car chief for the team, so I do get an opportunity to go hang out in the garage a little bit and talk shop. And matter of fact, I haven't been over in like a month. I've been busy. He's been busy, West Coast swing, and I was hoping to try to get him on tonight, but with him just getting back, he's got chores and stuff to do himself there at home. So.
I really I tried so hard that night to try to get internet
Yeah,
back. Like I was trying everything I could.
that's all right. We'll get on again. We've got a long season here ahead of us. We'll come
Oh,
back.
absolutely. We
Do
we
something.
uh we have we're booked all the way up until I believe May.
Yeah,
And that's when we start rotating back into our other guests that we've had.
you got to do with Dave is when you guys get together for tractor, I do like a pop-up show or something.
Yeah.
Do something, just like even if it's like 15 minutes, just like so you get some of the crew involved. I know they're pretty busy, but they do have some downtime in between.
Yeah. And that's what I have my tablet, so I told Rob when we go to the race, I'm hoping I can take my tablet in there and be able to do an interview.
Yeah,
If not, I'll just do it off my phone.
yeah. I mean, technology these days, you can almost do a lot of, it's amazing with just a Zoom call. You can do it on a cell phone. So,
and business is never over if you have your phone in your pocket.
no, yes, I can attest to that. Yeah. So it's one of those things I'm linked to like Instagram info page, but it's just like, if I don't answer them, I forget. So I try to stay on top of it. The email's not so much, but Instagram and Facebook, it's people are looking for answers, and if you can't provide them, they can easily click a button, go somewhere else. So
Yeah.
that's part of the customer service side. We try to stay on top of when it's not in store, but best thing for a store like our people actually come in. 90% of the time they're probably walking out with something. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So, but I don't know. I'm hoping to run into you guys somewhere along the line, and Bobby's got my number. I know I'm gonna fit in a second race this year. I just can't figure it out. Never flown into a race before, but if October works out, you never know. Might fly down, try to catch a weekend like Talladega or something. The Michigan race is kind of intriguing because it's kind of like a window. Maybe I'll squeeze that in.
I
And
will 100% tell you if you come to Michigan,
yeah,
the infield is just like Talladega.
yeah,
Dave can 100% agree with that. That infield is nuts.
Yep, I've been to Talladega and I've been to MIS, and it's an experience to say the least.
yeah. I'll have to check it out. So have to, getting older now. I'm still like recovering from this Pittsburgh trip. I feel like.
But
So I was just asked, and this is kind of a question for all of us. We should do a fan zone like at a race,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
an Area 51 fan meeting, like a meeting place
Yeah,
at a racetrack.
that'd be cool. I
But
mean,
what race? And that would be that probably be a next year thing because
yep.
unless everybody wants to go to Pocono.
I am not against autographing a baby.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm.
yeah. Nothing wrong with that. So
You know what happens when I get in autograph mode?
I
yeah,
know. That's
just
great.
keep trying to do the cheese challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Like when we go to Glen, there's like we have 3 camping spots in a row, and many fans probably hear it's like some tracks don't let you. They want you to park single file. They actually let us park in a horseshoe there, so we try to position our rights so we have a big party in the center, one campfire, get our cornhole boards and everything else going. So I don't know, is Michigan allow you to do that, or how's the camping there like when you guys go?
The problem with Michigan is that it's
it's a
sold
mud
out already.
pit.
No, it sells out. I mean, it's March and it's completely the infield sold out already.
The Glen is not this year, and I think the big move is from August, September. Kids are back in school. The
Yep.
daylight, you're losing. It'd be interesting to see what happens because it's still like a 3:30 start at that point in the year. I mean, 7 o'clock.
gonna
No
get dark.
lights. Yeah, no lights. So I guess we'll see what happens. You get a cloudy day, we'll see. That's a tight window packed in. They used to
Very.
start it at, I think when I first started going there, it was a 1 o'clock race, maybe, or 1:30, something like that. So
Yeah, that's what I remember. Is 1:30.
yeah.
Right.
No, that'd be
Now-
cool. Try to put something like a fan zone.
Yeah, that would. I didn't even think about that until somebody just messaged me and said we should do an Area 51 racing podcast like fan zone. I'm like, oh,
That's something I'm sure can be put together
oh,
fairly.
absolutely. Get everybody together at the track and have our Jeremy Clements banners or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Get someone with a party deck hauler, got the party deck on the back.
I think
Talking about the camper with the toy hauler, and they have the deck that
Uh-huh.
goes down. Set your
I-
podcast right up there. Got the little railing.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think I
fun.
know somebody with a pretty nice RV that we might be able to accommodate for a weekend.
Hey,
Yeah.
you shut your mouth. But yeah, that would be fun. We'd have to talk to maybe I could get Rob. We could come up with something. That'd be for sure. I'm all out of questions, Dave.
No, man, I really appreciate you being on here, giving us your time. It's obviously a pleasure having people on here.
Yeah, I always enjoy, meeting new people and new experiences. So thanks for having us, and it's great to be part of the team.
Yeah,
I can say that like you do feel a part of the team. You get treated very well. Like it's question whatever. It's just great to be part of. And I'm going back to sport. That's something inside the sport. It's just kind of people being people and treating each other well. So
Now, I don't remember if I asked or not, but are you running sponsorship on the car this year at any Pacific races?
we'll be at the Glen for sure.
Okay.
Second race, I'm not really. Dover last year was kind of like an 8-hour drive. He'd have a lot of like at the time. I was like, oh, Pentelson will work something out. Um,
Gotcha.
Crazy story. I know we're running out of time. My wife, like during the time we were had this scheduled, she she came down with like some nerve issues. She kept having 5 discs. She had to get cut like right here. She had 5 discs done. So I literally the race got rained out. We got home at like 2 a.m. She had to leave for surgery at like 8 a.m. So she gave me her blessing to stay. She's like, just stay, leave right after the race, come home. So got the kids in a bus. She went to surgery and she's just it's almost a year now. So she's getting there with recovery and so forth. But she couldn't drive for like 2 months, so it's pretty wild. Um
That,
I was able
that's definitely a keeper there.
yeah, I was able to squeeze that race in and spend the weekend and get back. So
So before we draw a winner or anything, I want to throw this out here. If you're interested in the Area 51 Racing Podcast Cups, tumblers, they're awesome. Anna did a really good job. Mine's autographed.
yeah,
Dave kind of got that for me. I don't drink out of this one, but if you we have the orange ones, the black ones, and I believe we have what's the other color, Dave?
I believe it's silver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right. It is silver. And then we also have Area 51 Racing T-shirts.
Yep,
on
over at stickygears.com.
Yep, on stickygears.com for $15. And when you buy a T-shirt, a portion of the money that is got from the T-shirt goes to Jeremy Clements Racing.
that's great.
If you buy a cup, the a small percentage goes back to the podcast to help us keep the show on YouTube and whatnot.
And if it helps, I'll autograph the tumbler.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps.
So what I am going to do is I don't have a hat on me. They're all in the closet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the names and I am going to throw them in the hat or throw them in the cup. And I'm going to shake them up.
They're tumbling up right now.
Can you hear it? And the winner of the $100 gift card is Stacy.
All right, congrats, Stacy.
Congratulations, Stacy.
Stacy Messer.
All right, congrats, Bobby.
Yep, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
I guess Stacy, just get your email address to Bobby, and a phone number. We'll send over a code. We'll get you set up with a code. Make sure you get the $100 gift card through our website. It comes from a gentleman named Mark, and then a shirt size too of a hoodie. Those are runs on a men's sizing, so a large would fit like a women's medium, so forth. Get you a hoodie. Depending where you are, it might not be hoodie season right now, but it's always nice to have for those cool nights at the racetrack.
Now, at the Runner's Roost, are those hoodies available?
Yes, we do sell them. It's not something we sell online. It's one of those small business things where it's just, sometimes it's gotta work on the stuff that moves, and
No, I get
during COVID, we didn't even have a website that operated with selling. So it was a silver lining. We were able to take those weeks that were closed here, shut down, and get some things working that way. So now we have an operating website, which is nice, and we can move some products through, and it helps situations as such, and have business connections through the country. So
cool.
Well, with that being said, we will try to catch up with you and John next time and see what's new past the Glen.
yeah, we're excited. So we'll get John on, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. Great support. We're happy to be a part, and anything in the future you guys need, feel free to ask.
No, absolutely, and thank you for sponsoring us.
Absolutely. I'm glad. It's just great. It's great that you guys are doing this. Wherever the idea came up, and it's just you probably see where it came from. the idea to the concept to here we are, how many weeks in? And then next season you'll be like, oh wow, look at next season, and gonna have a next season you're gonna have a fan podcast at our track. So
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Stacy just commented and said, "Thanks so much. I never win anything. So excited."
that's great. There you go. Well, now you can't say that anymore. You won something. So
Yeah.
yeah, I say that all the time. And I go to these things. I have friends that win 50/50s all the time, or this and that. We go to meat raffles, and it's just like, all right, I donate.
Actually, while we're sitting here for a second, so I just said that a couple weeks ago. I was like, I never win anything. I go to the
Oh.
casino, I win all the time, but I'm like, I never win giveaways and stuff. I won something the other day. So I told Dave I was gonna share this and I meant to grab it, but I won the Jeremy Clements 1 of 1 printing plate.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
From
Yep,
Kyle
definitely.
A. So I was like, holy crap.
Yep. Now you can't say you never win anything either anymore.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I can't thank you or thank you enough for sponsoring us, coming on board, taking a chance with us, because it was a startup when you jumped on. I mean, I didn't even have an episode up yet.
Well, I mean, that's what people do. So they're all part of networking the team and just helping people out. And I wish you guys all the success. And obviously, we'll be back at some point when you guys are ready to have us. So,
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully we'll see you at the track.
yep,
Almost
absolutely.
definitely.
See you later. Take care.
All
Have a
right.
great
Yep,
week.
thank you.
Bye.
See ya. All right. So
Well, that was super cool,
yeah, episode 12. Holy moly.
right?
These things are going by pretty fast.
Yeah, that was a good conversation. His daughter was too cute. His daughter's way too cute,
Yeah, that was, she's like, I'm tuning in too.
right? Right. When you've been to as many racetracks as that young lady has, and you don't know your favorite, that's living the good life,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? The future NASCAR fan, I love it.
So I know that it's just you and I, so I'm gonna take this time for a minute and I'm gonna get on Messenger and I'm gonna show you some or post something that I was gonna show before. But obviously I wasn't here last week, so I was trying to thank you for coming on board with us. And I sent it to Rob, but by the time you guys got it, the show was already over. But as you can tell, Dave is a big Jeremy Clements fan. You can
Yep.
tell I'm a big Jeremy Clements fan. Rob's a big Jeremy Clements fan. There's a lot of us. And I think that idea that was thrown out there that we should do a fan experience at the track is
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that would be super cool. You know, being in this new media group with you and Rob has really opened my eyes to how many true Jeremy Clemens fans there are.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna share this, and this is how cool this is. So I'm sharing this because Dave went to RJ Rockers, and that's where he got that cup signed. But he went to RJ Rockers, got to hang out with everybody, and it was a cool experience for him. And
Yep,
then he
shout
turns
out.
around and he does that interview with Mark Setzer at the shop after.
Yep, shout out to Jamie at Elite Towing for making that all possible right there, moving the cars around.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
all the guys from Wings etc. for being there. That was super cool. Spartan Waste, ASE Electric. I mean, all those guys were super awesome. And then of course, you know, Jeremy is a class act. If you ever get to meet him, he will take time out of his day to talk to you.
Absolutely. And then we have this picture here.
Yep, that's a good
I'll
one.
let you tell about that one real quick.
Right, pretty much all the guys wanted to line up in front of the Talladega car and get their picture taken. That was pretty late in the afternoon. There's probably a couple guys on there that don't remember getting that picture taken. Being over there at RJ Rockers, that is fun. Those guys host a heck of a party. If you're ever in the Charlotte or the upstate area in South Carolina, definitely a place to hit up. Just a great atmosphere, live music, get to have beer in the tap room. Then they have another room up front where you can have just general dining. Just an overall real cool place. I've been going there for the last 4 years now, and they've been awesome every single time.
Well, like I was saying, guys, the proceeds of the shirts and the cups and
Mhm.
whatnot, the shirts go back to Jeremy, the cups go to us to help us keep this podcast alive. The shirts help Jeremy stay on the track.
Yep.
And like I said, that is stickygears.com. And the cups are on our Facebook, on Area 51 Racing Podcast Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Right. And another thing about Sticky Gears too is Jeremy's not known all across the nation and on websites and stuff like that. But if you're a Jeremy Clements fan, you can find shirts and cups, of course our Area 51, but decals, vinyl, stickers. They just do an absolute great job, at representing Jeremy Clements and his brand.
All right, guys. Well, episode 12 comes down like this. Actually, before I before
Man, I'm happy for Stacy. How about that?
yeah, that was exciting.
That-
I never win anything.
Right.
And just so you guys know, all the names are literally right there.
Right.
But no, I want to give a shout out to Runner's Roost, Impel Union, Spartan Waste, Beach Ridge Barbershop, Alliance Driveway Solutions, First Pacific Funding, Elite Towing and Recovery, Whitetail Smokeless, Fly Informed Concrete Structures, Driftless Glen, Mattman Designs, and obviously this podcast does not go where it goes without Jeremy Clements Racing.
And the fans. Thank
Yeah,
y'all for
absolutely.
watching every week. Putting up with me for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, next week's show is going to be action packed, so be prepared.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I really am excited for next week.
I'm not 100% sure if Rob's going to be back. If he's not, Dave will be here. But we have Tate. We have Tate and his wife from Alliance Driveway Solutions. We got Jason from Impel Union. We got Justin, an associate sponsor coming up. So I can't wait to get everybody set up. And then we may have a special guest. And I'm not saying a word about who that special guest is, but if it happens, it's going to be huge.
But I might actually have to go with I might have to vote Rob out. I want to be on this one. I wish him the best of health, but I'm just
That's
playing with
great.
you, Rob. I hope you get better, man.
Yeah, I was when he said he had to have he had a surgery this weekend. I didn't think he would be ready.
Yeah.
So get well soon, Rob, and like I said, episode 12 is in the books just like that.
All right.
Lucky number 13 next week.
Right.
So with that being said, y'all have a good night, and we will see you guys